We live in an uncertain world where the spectre of nuclear conflict looms larger than ever before. The news is filled with stories of escalating tensions and the potential for catastrophic events. It's a reality that many of us find hard to confront, yet it's one we must face head-on. The threat of nuclear conflict, once a distant nightmare, has re-emerged as a chilling possibility. The images of mushroom clouds and missile launches are no longer confined to history books. They are a stark reminder of the destructive power that still exists in our world today. It's easy to feel powerless in the face of such destructive force. The anxiety and stress are palpable, and the conversations are filled with uncertainty. But knowledge is power. By understanding the risks and learning how to respond, we can regain a sense of control. Understanding how to survive a nuclear attack could mean the difference between life and death. It's about knowing the steps to take, the precautions to follow, and the actions that can save lives. This knowledge is not just for the experts, it's for everyone. This isn't about instilling fear, it's about preparation. It's about ensuring that you and your loved ones have the tools and information needed to stay safe. From packing an emergency kit to understanding the basics of radiation, every bit of knowledge helps. It's about equipping you with the knowledge and skills to face the unthinkable. First aid, emergency response training, and disaster preparedness are all crucial components of survival. These skills can make a significant difference in the aftermath of a nuclear event. While we hope for the best, it's crucial to prepare for the worst. Setting up a safe room, practicing evacuation drills, and having emergency supplies ready are all steps that can enhance your chances of survival. Remember, survival is possible. By learning the basics of nuclear preparedness, you're taking a proactive step towards protecting yourself and your loved ones. It's about being ready for any eventuality and ensuring that you have a plan in place. In the face of adversity, the human spirit is remarkably resilient. Communities come together, people help each other, and we find strength in unity. This resilience is our greatest asset in times of crisis. Let's face this challenge head-on, armed with the knowledge to survive. Together, we can overcome the fear and uncertainty and emerge stronger and more prepared for whatever the future holds. A nuclear explosion is an immediate, overwhelming event. The first sign is a blinding flash of light, far brighter than the sun. If you're close enough to see this, take cover immediately. This means getting behind anything that can offer some protection from the blast wave and intense heat. Ideally, find a ditch, culvert, or even a solid wall. The key is to put something, anything, between you and the blast. Time is of the essence. Every second counts. The blast wave follows the flash almost instantly. If you're caught in the open, drop to the ground and cover your head. Try to shield any exposed skin. The initial heat and radiation are the most intense. After the initial blast, the immediate danger is the shock wave and the intense heat. But once those have passed, your next priority is finding shelter. This is crucial because the radioactive fallout that follows can be deadly. This needs to be a place that can shield you from radioactive fallout, which will begin to descend shortly after the explosion. Fallout consists of tiny radioactive particles that can cause severe health issues if inhaled or ingested. Look for a basement, cellar, or the lowest level of a sturdy building. These locations offer the best protection because they are typically below ground level, reducing exposure to radiation. The thicker and denser the materials between you and the outside, the better. Materials like concrete, brick, and packed earth are excellent at blocking radiation. Think concrete, brick, or even packed earth. These materials can significantly reduce the amount of radiation that penetrates your shelter. If you can't find an ideal shelter, improvise. Use whatever materials you have on hand to create a barrier between you and the fallout. A car can offer some protection, especially if you can park it under an overpass or near a building. While not perfect, it can still reduce your exposure. Once inside your shelter, seal any windows, doors, and vents. This is to prevent radioactive dust from entering your space. Use duct tape, plastic sheeting, or even wet towels to create a barrier against radioactive dust. These simple measures can make a big difference in your safety. Remember, your goal is to minimize exposure to fallout. Every layer of protection counts. Stay put for at least 48 hours, ideally longer if possible. The radiation levels will decrease over time, making it safer to emerge. Fallout is the silent killer after a nuclear explosion. It's made up of radioactive particles that contaminate the air, water, and ground. This invisible threat can cause severe radiation sickness, leading to illness and death. The good news is that fallout's intensity decreases rapidly in the hours and days after detonation. Staying sheltered for the first 48 hours significantly reduces your exposure. When you do venture out, cover your mouth and nose with a mask or cloth to avoid inhaling dust particles. Avoid contact with water sources that may be contaminated. Rainwater is also a risk during this period. Remember, fallout is a serious threat, but with proper precautions you can minimize your exposure and increase your chances of survival. Section 5. Essential supplies, gearing up for survival. In a post-nuclear scenario, having essential supplies is crucial for survival. Before any potential threat, assemble a survival kit and store it in a safe, accessible location. This kit should include enough food, water, and other essentials to last your family for at least 72 hours, ideally longer. Water is your top priority. Aim for 1 gallon per person per day. Non-perishable food items like canned goods, energy bars, and dried fruits are essential. Don't forget a manual can opener. A first aid kit is vital. Include bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and any personal medications. A battery-powered radio, a flashlight, extra batteries, and a whistle are also crucial for staying informed and signaling for help. Section 6. Water, the elixir of life in a post-nuclear world. Water is life, never more so than in a post-nuclear environment. In such a scenario, the availability of clean, drinkable water becomes a matter of utmost importance. Without it, survival is impossible. While your initial supply will be crucial, you'll need to find ways to replenish it. This means knowing where to look and how to collect water from natural sources like rivers, streams, and even rainwater. Before disaster strikes, identify potential sources of water in your home and surroundings. This proactive step can make a significant difference in your ability to stay hydrated. This could include water heaters, which often hold several gallons of water that can be accessed in an emergency. Toilet tanks, the water in the tank, not the bowl, can also be a valuable source of water. Ensure the tank is clean and free from any cleaning chemicals, and even melted ice cubes can provide a small but vital amount of water. Every drop counts when resources are scarce. Remember to purify any water collected after the event, as it may be contaminated by fallout. Purification is essential to avoid waterborne diseases. Boiling water for at least 1 minute is the most effective method. This kills most pathogens and makes the water safe to drink. You can also use water purification tablets, which are easy to store and use. They are a reliable alternative when boiling isn't an option, or create a makeshift filter using layers of cloth, charcoal, sand, and gravel. This can help remove larger particles and some contaminants. Water management is key to survival. Carefully ration your water supply to ensure it lasts as long as possible. Use it sparingly and prioritize hydration. In a post-nuclear world, every drop of water is precious and could mean the difference between life and death. Section 7. Food and medicine, sustenance and healing. While securing water is paramount, food is equally vital for long-term survival. Your initial stock of non-perishable food will provide a temporary solution. However, you must consider sustainable food sources for the long term. Learning to identify edible plants in your region is crucial. Field guides and online resources can provide valuable knowledge. Trapping small animals, if possible, can provide a source of protein. Proper food storage is essential to prevent spoilage. Rotate your supplies regularly and practice food preservation techniques like drying or salting. Maintaining a well-stocked first aid kit and learning basic first aid skills will be invaluable in a post-nuclear world. Section 8. Staying informed, knowledge is power. In the aftermath of a nuclear attack, information is your lifeline. A battery-powered or hand-cranked radio will be your primary source of news and official instruction. It is readily available. Before a potential event, identify emergency broadcast frequencies in your area. Pay close attention to instructions from authorities. They will provide guidance on shelter-in-place durations, evacuation routes, and potential hazards. Be wary of misinformation. Rely on official sources for accurate updates. Staying informed keeps you prepared and adaptable in a constantly evolving situation. Section 9. The will to survive. Mental fortitude in desperate times. Surviving a nuclear attack is not just about physical preparedness, it's also about mental resilience. The aftermath will be challenging, but maintaining hope and a positive attitude are crucial for overcoming adversity. Focus on what you can control, take each day as it comes and celebrate small victories. Connect with others. Human connection, even in the darkest of times, provides strength and support. Remember, the human spirit is incredibly resilient. We have the capacity to endure unimaginable hardship. By preparing yourself mentally and emotionally, you'll be better equipped to face the challenges ahead and emerge from this ordeal stronger.